What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever KFP Casting Call.
Woo!
Where we're casting the MCU Fantastic Four movie. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us on the airwaves, check us out at kfpodcast.com and the KF Podcast on all your other social media needs.
Yes. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, Grindr. We're always on Grindr.
And then please also check us out on SoundCloud, where we have a fresh weekly topics where we just talk about, the week in nerd review.
Right.
So on the show, it's me. I'm Ken. There's Dawn.
Yo.
There's Brock.
Hi.
There's Mustache McGee via North Carolina. Justin.
Yo, what's up?
Love that mustache.
So we're gonna talk now that the MCU Fox deal is almost officially done. We're
pretty much official. We feel that the Fantastic Four is probably going to be a big prominent role going forward.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we are all fans of, the property. So we figured we'd fantasy cast it and kind of tell everyone our thoughts. We're going to say a character. We're all going to give an idea, and then we're going to
We're going to try and vote.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to vote for themselves.
Pretty much. But
not me, because I don't have some of these.
one of the things that sparked this for me is I saw an article on Newsarama, and they went and cast this first. So I'm like, and it kind of angered me when I saw some of this casting.
Let's see if I have any of
So
them.
let's see if you have any of these real quick. We'll go through. So the Newsarama cast, if they were casting it, they started off, well, they have Namor in the movie, which we're not doing Namor because they don't really have the rights yet. So they had Oscar Isaac as Namor.
And that's the dude from Star
That's
Wars.
Poe Dameron, Apocalypse. I'm like,
Apocalypse.
Okay. He could be okay. I think he's too short for it, but
I mean, that doesn't matter.
yeah. So their Silver Surfer is this guy, Dev Patel. Here's the picture of him.
Matthew Patel.
Hef Kasem. Or Dev Patel. I don't
Is he
know.
from Heroes?
I don't know. I don't know what he's from. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Silver
I
Surfer.
like him.
Next one is Javier Bardem as Dr.
Too old.
Get rid of him.
Nope.
Do you
Too
like
old.
him? Next, they had this guy, Glenn Powell, as Johnny Storm. I've never heard of him before.
I don't either. I don't know who he is.
He's okay. He's not too bad.
He's
hot.
You just need a young, hot dude for Johnny Storm.
Exactly.
Who is that guy?
Michael Shannon as Ben Grimm.
That picture, he's got a porn stash.
Who is that guy?
Oh, he's been in a lot of different stuff.
Why is he 60?
Yeah.
And the rest are in their 20s.
Yeah, why?
What's
Yeah.
he from, Michael Shannon, Justin?
Well, he was, Zod.
He's Zod. That's right. Yeah, he's Zod.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Molly Shannon than Michael Shannon.
He was good as Zod, though. That's a horrible photo of him, too. It's a horrible photo.
That looks like a Bond villain from the 70s.
It does.
Terrible photo. He looks so much better as Zod. I didn't even recognize him. That's how terrible that photo is. Then you had Adrian Brody as Reed Richards. It's
This is
terrible.
all too old.
Not only too old, but Adrian Brody doesn't look anything like Reed Richards. It's horrible.
He's just
They were just
skinny.
looking for a tall, emaciatedly skinny dude.
that's
and
exactly
then you
it.
got Charlize
No.
Theron,
Nope.
who's 55.
Nope.
Or whatever. No,
Nope.
sorry. Yeah. So there was so that's why it got me angry. We're like, we can come up with something better than this.
Definitely.
Right?
Well, the three
I'm
of you can
confident
come up with something better. I had a hard time with this.
Ken had a hard time with this. So let's go around. We'll start. You have a Mr. Fantastic?
I have. Well, I'll talk about.
All right, we'll start
I
with
have
Brock
some-
then.
Here's the thing. I can always talk about something.
Okay. So we'll start with Brock. Brock, who'd you have as your pick for Mr. Fantastic?
Jimmy Simpson.
Give me a picture of him.
Let me
He's
see.
from Westworld.
We got him on the screen now. Jimmy Simpson. That guy.
That guy.
Okay.
He was in the Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. thing and all that. He was
Yes.
the cop. Yeah.
He's a little old for my liking.
He's a little goofy looking for me.
Reed's a little goofy looking.
Jimmy Simpson.
Okay.
He has a lot of sci-fi experience, too.
Yeah.
No.
Justin, who'd you had who?
So I went with one of these previous castings because I couldn't think of anybody else. John Krasinski.
Yeah.
I saw that all over the place.
I hate that casting. I hate that casting so bad.
If they're gonna do it, they need to remake The Office, and then every time something happens, he just looks at the screen, gives a shitty grin, and then yeah. I actually don't mind it. I think he's a good actor.
I don't like him in that role. I think I just see Jim from The Office every time I see him.
Here's why I don't mind it is because he's not famous enough to leave for something else, and he's not old enough to look super old. They can make him look young.
Okay.
And I think he proved himself in, he was in that, I think it was the 13 Hours.
He was in that movie. Then he was in the Scary Thing Under the Thing. He was in the Don't Talk. What do they call it? Don't Talk. There's monsters or whatever.
He was in that movie.
The sequel to Scary Thing Under the Thing. Don't talk, there's monsters.
He was in that movie. Keep the other. Who's your read?
Okay, so I don't have them officially as my read.
Here we go.
But because I want a young cast. I want like 20s to 30s. I want to follow a young Fantastic Four for a long
How
time.
was this guy?
Who?
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy
All right, go ahead.
But now? Josh Duhamel looks just like Reed Richards. So
Josh Duhamel looks exactly
but he's
like
too
Reed.
old for me.
He's 44.
Yeah.
And he's not a good actor.
No.
So all right. So this is my pick.
Okay.
I went with Matthew Bomer.
I'm cool with that. Young dude.
Now, well, here's the thing with Matthew Bomer. He is in his late 30s.
Oh, really? He doesn't
Yeah,
look that
but
old.
I like this guy. I think he's a good actor.
Does he look good in the belt?
He's a good-looking dude. Like, ladies would like him. You know, the other thing about Matthew Bomer's an openly gay man.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel's big on the.
But Reed Richards isn't it?
Yeah, but they would love the casting that that he's in there. He gets that crowd. He brings that crowd in too. That they're like, they love Matthew.
What
Bomer.
crowd is he bringing in?
The LGBT community. They love Matthew Bomer. Matthew Bomer's a good actor.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a good. Can you see?
I wouldn't
him?
hate that.
I bet you wouldn't.
He's a good-looking guy. I think he would do well as
He's
Reed.
too good looking for Reed.
I agree.
Well, okay, maybe, but I'll get to that.
Put a little gray in his hair.
So, what do we think? We want to pick one?
Jimmy Simpson.
I'm good with Matthew Bomer.
All right, 2 votes for Matthew Bomer. That's all you need to win.
We should make it where we can't vote for yourself. That way we can.
Well, that's not official. We
It
love
should be. Can you convince Ken to cast one of these 3 people for the show?
Fair enough. Let's move on to the Invisible Woman.
All right.
Brock, who do you got?
Diana Agron.
Let's see a picture of her.
Diana Agro.
There she is on the screen right
Probably
now.
mispronounced her last name. She was on Glee. She was in I Am Number 4.
She was an
Ah,
Oh. Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Could see it. Not bad.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, I know she is.
Okay.
All right.
Justin, or who do you got?
I had Blake Lively.
Isn't Blake Lively an Aquaman?
No.
That's not the same girl?
No, that's Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Okay. But what's Blake Lively in? She was in that Shark Attack movie.
She was in Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, yeah.
She was Carol Danvers in the Green Lantern movie.
Not Carol Danvers.
Cat Ferris.
Or not Danvers, Carol Barrett.
Carol
Sorry.
Ferris. Yeah, Carol Danvers. I like Blake Lively. She would look good as Invisible Woman.
Yeah. She looked good. That sentence is funny.
Yeah. Who did you have?
I have Hayden Panettiere, the chick from the Nashville show. She was in Heroes.
Okay. Yeah, she's really good looking.
Yeah, I think she'd be a good Sue. And it goes to my whole formula. She's not that famous.
Yeah.
She's not doing anything else. And she's young enough she can be in the
Okay.
Fantastic Four for long. And she's a good actress.
All right. I went with this chick. Her name is Abby Cornish.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know if that's like bakeware or... Okay.
I wish I could.
All of our people look very similar.
They're all blondes.
I found her on IMDb, and I think she has a really good Sue Storm look to her. Like, she's a little older, too, and I'll explain why you'll get to the reason why I picked a little older. I'm going to tell you my little theory.
All right.
So, yeah, I think they're all pretty decent choices, to be honest with you. I'd be okay with it with any of them.
All right.
So, let's move on to Torch.
All right.
Me and Justin are going to start because we're the same. Justin, I picked Zac Efron.
I had Zac Efron
Okay.
as well.
Isn't that who you had, too?
Wait a minute, you all have Zac
We all
Efron?
have Zac Efron. Zac Efron wins. Who'd you have?
I had that Rami Malek guy that's from the I Am Robot show.
Dumb.
Dumb. Yeah, Zac Efron's much better. He's much better looking. He's a total. Ladies would love him. He's hot. You walk around his shirt off.
It's not the Baywatch movie.
Hey,
that's all you want to do is the
I
Baywatch.
love Zac Efron. I think Zac Efron's great. I'd cast him in every movie if I could.
You're
We all
ridiculous.
thought the same way. So
I can't believe the 3 of you are all on the same.
It's on my list. I'll show you right here.
Oh no, I don't doubt it, but I think it's hilarious that Yeah, I didn't even put that to no.
It's hilarious. Keep going. I gotta write something down here because.
Oh, you forgot to do this. All right,
to do
so hey, I'll just explain it on the show.
Okay.
So
Wait, let's wait till we get to him because it's coming up. We'll get there.
boy.
So
Alright.
let's do the thing.
The scary thing under the thing.
Yeah.
Or the thing.
Brock, who'd you have?
Alan Richson.
Who's that?
He's gonna be Hawk in the new Teen Titans TV
Okay.
show.
Let me see a picture.
He was also the voice of Raphael in the Michael Bay Turtle movies.
huh.
Picture on the
I'm
screen
working on it. Let me find him.
for all you people at home, so you don't have to wait through this.
Yeah, here he is. Big sexy dude.
Oh
okay.
yeah, that guy. He was Aquaman in
The
Smallville show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
This guy.
I got him.
All right.
All right.
I had The Rock.
Okay.
Now, the reason I was going with that is if you had The Rock in the MCU as the thing, like, the voice matches it. I want to see Ben Grimm as a big dude beforehand, too. That he's, like, Reed's sort of, like, bodyguard.
Yeah.
Where he's, like, with him, and, like, The Rock fits that bill, walking around with the muscles out and all that. Then when he's a rock dude, he has the big voice.
And he's
literally
still
a
The
rock. You know, so I went cheesy. I think The Rock works. This is like a Baywatch movie. I got The Rock and Zac Efron.
I'm surprised you haven't cast the Dario chick on this in this too.
Oh.
That's his Dr. Doom.
That's Dr. Doom.
Who'd you have, Justin?
I have Jensen Ackles
Yeah.
Who the
from Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Oh, okay.
With the smallest picture that I
And,
Oh, there you go. That
Lame.
thumbnail works.
and I think he's got a decent voice. He's not going to be in human form for very much of the movie at all.
Yeah.
I think he's got a voice that could be good for
He does have a good voice.
the thing.
He's good with that. He sounds good. Who'd you have, Ken?
I didn't really feel like casting him, but I thought Vin Diesel would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he wants to be part of the MCU so bad, but then he became Bloodshot in the
Yeah.
Valiant universe. Maybe that comes off.
He's still
then.
Groot.
Yeah, he is Groot. So
He is
and,
Groot.
and he needs to be on screen. That was kind of a shtick where,
Now he's just a rock.
yeah, he can be a rock.
All right. I think we got some good ones in there.
Okay.
All right. So my thing for Doctor Doom.
Okay.
I cast this guy, and when I saw his name, the first thing that hit me was as soon as I say this guy's name out loud, Ken's going to say something. Like, he's going to react to it in a certain way with a certain other name. So I'm going to I wrote it down here what he's going to say, because I have this feeling when I say, here's who I cast, he's going to say, and I built it up so much, you're probably not going to do
I'm
it
probably
now.
not gonna remember
Yeah,
it
you're
now.
not going to be able to do it now.
Yeah, but you might as well try it out.
We'll start over there, Brock. Dr. Doom, who do you like?
Sam Worthington.
Old Sam Worthington?
Old Werther's Originals.
Like 85-year-old Sam
No, the guy from Avatar.
Oh, the guy from Avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's
the
a good
main
pick.
guy that puts his button. Stuff.
Yeah, he puts
Yeah.
his button stuff. He
Yeah.
puts things in his button.
And he was Sam Worthington wasn't he in a Terminator also
Yes.
too?
Yeah,
He's in a
Yeah, he's a
Terminator
good
movie.
actor. I
I
like
don't know
him.
if I can see him as like a menacing Doctor Doom, but I don't know, maybe.
Got an
Justin,
accent.
who you got?
You got me there?
So I've got Nikolaj Coster-Waldau,
Who?
Jamie Lannister.
Jamie Lannister.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
When I saw that name too, I was like, who the hell is this? And I was like, it's Jamie Lannister. Just say Jamie Lannister. It's much easier. But yeah, I don't know. He's okay.
Yeah.
From playing Jamie, we know he can do kind of a dignified dick. I think he could be a good villain too.
Okay. What do you think, Ken? Who do you got?
I have. Oh, I just lost it. I have Nicholas Hoult, and he played Beast in the X-Men First Class movies. Because I wanted a younger.
Oh,
he looks
that
like
kid.
Sinister.
Okay.
So that's who I had as my.
Okay.
Is
So-
the young 20s.
For my Doctor Doom, I cast this guy. His name is Kevin Durand.
Kevin Durant.
That's what I knew you were gonna say.
It's the exact same name. It's the same guy.
It's Durand, not Durant. I knew you were gonna say Kevin Durand, and you did let me
Kevin
know.
Durant.
Now,
Kevin Durant.
this guy was in. He was Blob in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
He's a big guy. He's a tall guy, and he has like a thick accent. Like I don't know what his accent is,
Okay.
but I think he has like that evil look to him. Plus, he has this is gonna sound kind of dumb, but Doctor Doom should look and sound foreign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he's not an American.
He's from Eastern Europe.
And when they cast Julian McMahon in the first movie, he was like the
From
whitest
Nip Tuck,
American
yeah.
from Nip Tuck you could find. It just didn't work. It just didn't feel like it. Like this guy, when you hear him talk with a stick accent and the way he looks and the size of him, I think would look really well. I think he would look very menacing.
All right.
I've always liked him in movies. He was in that series on TNT.
The series.
The vampire one.
Twitter or Twilight.
No, Twilight. Kevin Durant. You didn't let me down.
I want to see Twilight with Kevin Durant.
Voice of Galactus. Brock.
James Woods.
James Wood. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
I think it would just be funny, instead of that deep. Everyone's gonna expect like a James Earl Jones kind of voice coming from Galactus.
And then he just has James Woods as
James
voice.
Woods.
Justin.
Ving Rhames.
Huh.
Sexy Ving Rhames. I don't know about Ving Rhames. Maybe.
James Woods is better.
I went with Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Oh, I could see that.
I think he has a good storytelling. I was watching Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and he does Aslan.
Oh.
And I'm like, boy, he's got a good voice. Like, he'd be good.
So I went the same way, but I don't know if my guy's alive. Is Ian McKellen alive? Can he
Yes,
get
Ian
Gandalf?
McKellen is alive.
All right.
Yes.
So I want Gandalf to be the voice
He's
of
there.
Galactus.
I tell you who would have been a good voice of Galactus is Count Dooku. But he died.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee. I think
Christopher Walken should be the voice of Galactus.
hey, but seriously, Christopher Lee would have been really good.
Well, that's why I went with Ian McKellen, but then I was like, is he dead? Or is the other one?
It's Count Dooku.
One of those guys are
One
dead.
of those guys is dead.
One of those people in Lord of the Rings are dead.
All right, good. I like this so far. This is good. So how about Silver Surfer?
I went with Doug Jones from the original Rise of the Silver Surfer. I thought he looked great as him.
Okay, the original guy.
That's the one thing they got right. So,
But he was voiced by Lawrence Fishburne.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, he looked better. He looked better as the other guy.
Yeah.
Doug Jones.
I went with the guy that played Colossus in the first X-Men, in the third X-Men movie.
Okay.
I like his size. I like the.
It's too big.
You think he's too big for the Surfer? Justin, who you got?
Again, I just did the voice because I figured Surfer could be mostly CG.
CG.
So I did Common.
Common actually.
He would look, yeah.
Okay, he got the bald head. He might have. That's a good pick.
I like that one.
Common would be all right. I like that one. I'd go with that one. Who'd you have, Ken?
Nicolas Cage is the voice of Silver Surfer. How great would that be to have Nicolas Cage's voice?
I like Justin's best on that
Yeah,
one.
I
I do
Common.
too. Common's great.
So I had a theory, and this is why I went with my age group, my people that I went with: Matthew Boner, Abby Cornish, Zac Efron, The Rock. They're all like 40. Abby Cornish like 35. Zac Efron's like 30. So the reason I'd go with this is, if this was my thing, is I think people are sick and tired of Fantastic Four origin movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are over it. Like the whole thing with, here's the four people and they do the thing and they get their powers. I think the best way you would integrate them in is Mr. Fantastic was like an apprentice to Tony Stark. Like he worked with him. He was younger than him, but he worked with him.
Okay.
He had him, and you have the future. You do the Future Foundation.
Okay.
They had this Future Foundation. It was all these young bright minds. Him, Sue, Johnny, Ben, the whole people there. They had a daughter. Like you bring in Valerie Richards. Okay. Their daughter somehow gets experimenting with the whole negative zones and all that stuff they do. She gets lost. They go to find her. They disappear. No one sees them for 15 years.
Okay.
That's where they've been all this time. So when they return through whatever portal that they open, they're changed in that other universe and they come here with their powers. So the first time they interact with Tony again, Reed's now older, so he's like 40, and his daughter's grown up and they had a son. I think you introduced them with Valerie and Franklin. You skip them being babies and you go right to you cast a 12-year-old Valerie and an 8-year-old Franklin, and instead of this being a Fantastic Four, it's really the whole family. Because I think it's a newer way of people are tired of it's the same movie again.
Yeah.
So here's a movie with a daughter with powers and a son with powers. They already have powers. You could do some flashbacks that they were around. That way I think it would be cool to Tony would be oh shit, Reed, I thought you died 15 years ago in that explosion in the Baxter building.
Yeah.
You killed your whole family. Well, really, we were in the negative zone we're in a multiverse somewhere, you know, and we're aware of all these things, you know, Nihilus and Galactus and all these things that they're like aware of, and then they have powers, you know. You'd have a cool interaction of like a master and apprentice type thing with Tony and Reed, where he's like, "Oh, you changed because Tony has armor," and he's like, "So have I," and he's stretching and all that stuff. You know, so you have a little older. I like what you're saying about the younger.
Yeah.
But then you have to do an origin with the younger again, where this they're already established superheroes, and now they're back and they're the Fantastic Four, and they have the Baxter Building, and you know, and they're just in it with kids and teenagers and the whole 9 yards.
They're just in it.
That's my theory.
I like it.
Justin?
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, it's cool. The age levels for the cast and I did it because I didn't know. I always thought that Reed looked a lot older than Sue. Yeah. And so according to some of the stuff I said in the comics, there was approximately 10 to 15 years in age difference. So Krasinski's like 40, Blake Lively's like early 20 or mid 20s. So I thought that age gap was appropriate. Her and Zac Efron are almost exactly the same age, so they could definitely pass for.
That's how I cast too.
Close sibling.
Reed's a little older than everybody else.
Yeah, Reed and Grant and Ben were usually some of the oldest, and Sue and Johnny were pretty close in age.
I think Ben was the youngest guy on my cast, though.
Was he? Yeah, and I mean, you always did the Doctor Doom thing where he was there too, and then he comes back.
Or he could just been in Latveria.
Could have been there the entire time. Yeah. I just think you have to get past the whole. Here's another movie, a third movie, where it's like what they did with Spider-Man. Yeah, like people were tired of Spider-Man Origin, they brought him in. He's already Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, like if you bring them in another Origin, people are going to be like, okay, they're going to get powers. Like I think you got to find a way to be like, hey, they were already established, they were already here. Something happened, and now they're back.
It's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to explain with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were off exploring. They were in the multiverse. Everyone thought they were dead. You know, they already know them. Because I think going forward with these MCU movies, I think having the Illuminati would be key for these movies going forward. I think that's what you like. Either they each get an Infinity Stone, but I think like if you could figure out a way where you have Tony with one, maybe Thor with one, Captain Marvel, Panther, Strange, Reed, Xavier.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to see Illuminati segues in like between every movie. Like every movie you knew you were going to have some kind of an Illuminati segue where they like talked about what's going on in the X-Men movies, talked about Wakanda stuff. Like it would just be a cool way of them getting. And you have to throw like Captain Marvel in there just to get a female's perspective, and she's keeping an eye on outer space.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
she should have the space gem.
Reed's keeping an eye on the multiverse. You know, Panther and them, and Xavier with the mutants.
I think we can agree that our castings, each of ours, were much better.
Better than Adrian Brody as Reed Richards.
That's the truth.
Anybody would be better. Me and cast the four of us. I'll be Sue Storm.
Betty White as Sue Storm.
Or they just bring Michael Chiklis back.
Yep.
Because he did do a good job.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Chris Evans could be Human Torch again.
There you go.
Yeah. You'd have to have some kind of Captain America meeting the Human Torch and making a comment about
That'd be funny.
Zac Efron as the Human Torch. Let's push it.
I think it should happen.
Let's do
If
it.
3 of the 4 of us did that without communicating about it,
Yeah,
it's definitely a good casting.
it is.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe we'll cast some X-Men stuff.
And Ken's an
next time.
idiot, so his vote doesn't count on that
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Just kidding.
He did want Nick Cage back in the MCU.
I did. I want him back.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer. If I could do a Nick Cage impersonation, I'd do it right now.
I like when you cast Sam Worthington, and I thought it was Sam Elliott. It's 100. But still looks the same.
Yeah.
He looks the same from when he was in Tombstone to what he does now. So he
Marvel
could,
Man.
yeah, he could play Reed Richards, whoever you had him, or
Had him as
Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
With that deep voice and Colt 45 or Coors. He does Coors.
It's not
The banquet beer. He's not Billy
It's not
D.
Land. Yeah, it's not Land.
Lando.
Well, there you go. A Nargle episode of KFP Casting Call.
When are we doing X-Men?
I don't know. Whenever we want.
All right.
All right, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, invite, and tell your friends. Check us out at the KF Podcast on all your social media, and kiss your mother in the mouth.